So help us understand, what are smart cities?
Yeah, so Estonia actually considers itself a digital society. So it has digital society indicators that talk about connectivity, that talk about access to internet, that talk about ability to transact things digitally. And so yes, so Estonia is a digital society, and as a logical step from there, because everything else is connected, everything talks to one another through the interoperability backbone. But now there is need for inanimate objects to also report into the system.
Such as?
So inanimate objects are things like street lights, are things like garbage bins, are things like any of the sewage systems, anything that...
This is Internet of Things we're talking about.
Yes, Internet of Things indeed, because Internet of Things is what is one of the components of smart cities. And so smart city itself is a setup that allows for very efficient governance from the city offices, that allows for very efficient service delivery to the citizens in that city, but that also allows for businesses to plug in and deliver services at levels that require for inanimate objects to report back.
Can we share an example? Give me an example of a business that's able to tap into that data and how they can use it. So whether that's a bin company or I don't know.
Yes, I mean the simple one would be a bin company, but let's look at some of the components that, for example, are applicable in Kenya. There is one of the Estonian technology solution providers that has already started to make its way into Kenya. And one of the solutions that they have is to create virtual environments. Because you see, in the traditional way, if a city office needs to know what does that location look like, what is there, what kind of businesses, what kind of road condition, what kind of road accessories, they would need to physically go to site. But with a virtual reality environment, they simply click, log in and view the city without having to leave their desk. And so this can be used, for example, for being able to not only just view but also to measure, because let's say the road was constructed. Was the road constructed to the specifications? So the official will open up, use a virtual ruler, measure the road, measure the lamppost, mark and know where things are. If it has a pothole, be able to have the system calculate what is the cost of repairing this road, considering that it has, like in that particular system, there are about 8 different road defects that can be automatically identified by the system, and come up with a budget for carrying out the road repair works on that particular road. Or things, for example, like let's take the example of Nairobi City. So Nairobi City clearly has a lot of outdoor advertising sites, billboards, the ones on the lamppost, name it. All of them, in principle, have a shilling value that the county government of Nairobi should receive. However, that does not happen because it does not have an adequate database and an up-to-date database, and has no ability to measure the billboards that are out there. Do they actually meet the requirements as per what is on the records? From
the size of the billboard to the
location, number of sites, name it. So basically it allows, because you see, even if there is a database that is generated through any of the ERP models, if that database is not populated with the information, that database only collects what is already in the system. So allowing for efficiency in revenue collection, efficiency in service delivery. Like, for example, let's take another example. So we all know Nairobi has issues with pollution. Some of the smart city installations would have, through IoT, through the network that is created with that, would measure noise levels. We know that NEMA has many complaints from residential areas.
Right.
And many of those are currently not addressed or are addressed corruptly.
Yeah.
And so if the data is collected, the data is available, and it's indisputable data.
Yes.
So things to do with pollution, noise pollution, air pollution, you would be able to provide allergy warnings to people when particular pollutants are in the air that trigger asthma. You'd be able to compare pollution levels between different parts of Nairobi or any of the other cities. So these are some of the things that are a natural byproduct of a smart city.
Very, very interesting. Thank you. That's fantastic. You've broken it down so well. And it makes so much sense. You know, I mean, when on the roads that I use, every so often you see a guy with a yellow tripod stand measuring something. And so I was like, what do these guys actually do? So one time I stopped as I was walking and I asked this gentleman, what are you doing? And he said, in a not very excited way, that he's measuring, I guess, the way that the traffic flow and trying to see how he can make the road a lot more easier flow, basically. And I asked him, what qualifications do you have? And he said, I'm a civil engineer. So it requires a civil engineer to come, and several of them from different angles, from this side and from the other and from the corner, to figure out how do we expand this road so that then the traffic flow is easier. But you're telling me from a 3D or 2D computer generated, I guess, you know, view, we can measure all those things and it can be to the exact number and demonstrate how should this road be expanded and in what way, which will be efficiently done without somebody physically coming on site to do it.
Actually, there are the things you've mentioned actually cover three various technology components. Okay. So one, there is the technology that is used for like Google Street View, which has a 360-degree camera that runs through the roads and captures the panoramic view. So basically, you know what kind of environment you're building into. Okay. Then the second one, which is a LiDAR radar, that goes together with a high precision GPS that then creates the dot cloud. Because you see, what those engineers are normally looking for is the dot cloud that has the preciseness of between 10 to 50 millimeters. Okay. Because that's what they need for accuracy in road. And so again, that is another technology that can do that. You know, when normally they would take maybe 2 to 3 weeks to cover, you know, a section of maybe 50 kilometers of road, with this technology, you can get that covered within an hour. And then further on the areas of traffic, knowing, you know, how much traffic passes a particular road, what kind of traffic congestion is caused by closing this road or having road repairs here, or how much traffic from point of origin to point of destination passes through a particular road. That is another technology that uses location-based data analytics, and again is a smart city tool.
Fantastic, fantastic. All right, guys, that's it for today. If you want to know more about Estonia and the things that we can learn from it, there's so much available online. In case you want to know and communicate a bit more with the consular and perhaps Her Excellency Kadri, you can do so directly on Facebook. They're on Facebook as well. So please do feel free to ask any questions that you may have, post on my comment section, and we shall be ready to answer any questions that you may have or refer you to the right place. Keep watching, subscribe, and share the videos. God bless. Bye.